Something that we really have to have today, this Friday. If you've been following hashtag The Morning Drift, you do know that every single morning we touch on an aspect on road safety, and I'd like to bring you up to speed on what we have touched on so far. The common mistakes that pedestrians make, which makes a majority of us, the common mistake motorists, commonly make, and we've also looked at then, the safety, the motorists and what they should do. We've looked at how to take care of the child pedestrian, to be specific, because of the school going. That was yesterday, so we could protect our children. And of course, an expert made it very clear how the child, leans on us for protection, the adults. And somebody else, of course, highlighted in the comments that it is law, that if a child is 10 years old and below, they are automatically supposed to be crossing the road with an adult. So if you picked on those few tips, I am sure today will also be very, very significant to you and your family. So allow me to welcome on set my guests. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
And today, of course, the one who started speaking is the new one on set.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for creating time. Mr. David Kahara.
Yes.
You are very important to the motorists and road users because of what you do.
Exactly.
You train.
Yes, we train.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Basically, good morning, viewers. Road safety is an important aspect of any country in terms of the economic and the safety of the citizens, and it begins at the grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of gap that we have identified on the training that is given to drivers. And one of the things that we've done towards addressing that is coming up with interest groups and using social media to impart more knowledge on fresh drivers who are leaving our driving schools and enhancing the knowledge and the skills that they have acquired. And this goes a long way in sensitizing the road safety aspect, which is barely covered in the driving schools.
Okay.
And most driving schools are profit-driven, so the content is not enough. So,
allow me to
yes,
to just emphasize on the profit-driven, because we're here with Mr. Worotet.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for, of course, bringing along another expert so we could learn much more. I just wanted to say good morning because the conversation has started.
It is late already.
Yes, and people are leaving, and we're coming back to the training. I just wanted to refer to what Mr. Worotet has continually said, that most of our drivers, he actually made it clear that, is it less than 2,000?
Less than 2,000,
yes.
Qualified and certified. Here the trainer saying yes.
Yes, that is actually what I wanted to actually confirm from him, that it is true. What he said, because you trained them.
Yes.
And when you talk about quality training, he did his training for 3 years.
Exactly.
And I want to confirm from you, therefore, how long you train our drivers for.
Drivers in Kenya, according to the NTSA curriculum, are trained in a period of 21 days minimum. You get it. In 21 days, you're supposed to have gone through about 20 key topics for you to be a skilled and knowledgeable driver who will be able to go into a highway and operate a vehicle in a manner that will be safe to everybody. So you realize that because of that aspect, profit-driven, poorly paid instructors, lack of proper resources, especially practice fields and so on, this knowledge is not properly imparted on fresh drivers. And that's where we come in. In addition to driver training, there are other more courses like defensive driving, first aid driving, which increase the knowledge that a driver acquires from the training school. And our part in this is to come in from the grassroots, so that as this person goes to driving in the actual scenario, they have already the knowledge that will make them operate these vehicles safely.
All right, I'm glad to know that there is more to the 21 days.
Yes,
but how many of the drivers watching today knew that they could actually add to that?
Enhance their skills. Using those programs. And most people do not know this.
Okay.
The moment you get your driving license, you now think that is the end. And now when you go to the road, you will keep learning because it's an evolving skill. You must keep learning to update yourself and to be safe on the road for your sake, your family, your loved ones, and for the sake of other road users.
Okay.
So it's very important that motorists enhance their driving skills and pay particular attention on enhancing the road safety aspect, because we are here because of road safety.
Yes.
And that is a very important aspect of any country in terms of their citizens.
Yeah, and that was a really a good, strong way to start this discussion today.
Yes.
I know now people are looking forward to what we are talking about today.
Yes.
Weekend fatalities. And it is disheartening to use that word fatalities this morning, because I look forward to a Kenya where we no longer lose a life on the road.
Yes.
Mr. Oworotet, I mean, I'll just start by asking you, because usually you have this very lengthy and detailed, presentation. And today the concern is, by the end of this discussion, we hope not to lose a life today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes.
But what is the cause of these very high rates of weekend fatalities in the country today?
As I start, viewers, please, if you are watching, share this, because whatever thing we are going to speak here would bring back your loved one back home. There is a scare that we're not sure that if we use our roads, we are certain we are coming back home. That is horrible, because you're leaving Nairobi for, later on today I'll be going to Murang'a. I'm not so sure I will make it back home alive, and the loved ones will hurt them all. So if you look at the weekend, it's so sad to use the word fatalities, but here is the sad reality. There are names we know, there are names we relate with, and we are relating with this morning. And probably by the end of the weekend, there'll be no more. We will never hear them. We will be in WhatsApp groups, we will be in committees planning their farewell. But the cause of their deaths, the cause of their injuries are all avoidable. So in the weekend, a lot of functions come in, probably on Saturday. So you find somebody is already in the office right now. They want to catch up with job and then leave at noon and drive longer distances. As I said, driving is not the use of hands, it's all in the brain. So it all starts with training. Are you trained for driving long distances? No. People are hiring cars today. People are going into vehicles. I have money, let me drive a V8. Are you conversant? Are you competent with that V8? Are you sure of the controls? No, last weekend, Anki, I drove a car that has cruise control. So because Otet drove that, Kahara is going for that this weekend. Yes. I also want to record as I do a cruise control car. You set it and you sit back and relax. Are we trained for that? Two, roads.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been there. We've been using them. But how conversant are you with this road? How conversant are you with this road? Probably you used it 3 months ago. And now we are going to Bari Anko, we are going to Arurashio, we are going to party. We are having a weekend drive, just a getaway. What intelligence do you have about that road? For instance, let me use the southern bypass here.
Yes.
The weekend is the worst because people must die on that road. But it's something that they can choose not to die. Yes. I chose not to die. I chose not to kill anyone.
Yes.
This morning, when we are coming with Mr. Kahara, we are at a red light. A young baby is crossing the road and I'm saying, "Ooh, baby is crossing, blessings of today." Then the baby just finishes crossing
and the bus zooms by.
Oh.
It's very scary.
These are
I'm
things
still
that,
shaken up to now.
These are things that we can avoid.
Yes.
We are going into roads that are under construction.
Yes.
We don't know where a new bump has been erected, and we are going to drive on speeds that we did 3 months ago. We are using 3 months late intel on a new road on a new day. So speed, is something that is also going to hurt us during this weekend.
Yes.
Speed. We have a culture that is bad. I always leave a day early.
All right.
Others want to leave 45 minutes late and want to reach 15 minutes earlier before. You are already late. There's no way you are going to come in before time. We are not superhuman beings. We are not angels. We're just human beings who are using vehicles. So you find that people speed. And the good question here is, are we trained for speeding?
Are we trained for speed and to speed?
Yeah.
We are not trained.
We're not.
Before we continue, can I just, because he's nodding,
Yes.
I want to understand, we have speed limits in this country, depending on, we mentioned once there's certain speed limits for in estates.
Yes.
So when he says, are we trained for speed, I would think we're trained for speed, but are we trained to speed?
We are not trained to speed. We are trained to drive vehicles safely. You will notice that in any part of the world, driving a vehicle has rules and regulations. And these rules and regulations are put in place to control and circumvent some of those aspects like speeding. And in the training, it also involves the technical aspect of operating a motor vehicle.
All right.
So if I'm going to drive a V8, like he's saying, it has the capability of driving at very crazy speeds as compared to a small vehicle, let's say like a Vitz, which goes up to 180 kilometers per hour, and which is a speed that one may never drive. So in terms of speeding, we do not train people to speed, but we train people to drive in safe speeds within regulated limits.
Okay.
I would like to add a few points on what he has mentioned. Weekend fatalities are mostly blamed on drunk driving.
All right.
Yes.
All right, we are going to come on that. I just needed your
Yes.
specific,
Okay, fine, thank you.
of
Okay.
course,
Yes.
input on the speed.
Okay.
We will, of course, continue
Okay.
with that, and then
Okay.
we'll
Okay,
have your
fine.
comments
Okay,
also on
thanks.
the
Okay.
drunk driving.
Okay, okay.
I hope that's okay.
It's okay. It's
All right,
okay.
sir. So
Yes.
we were at the speeding.
What does speed do? It only increases your chances of death. It opens more door to injuries, more door to getting hurt. Why? Because, one, it reduces your reflex action. You have a very minimal time to react. You have a very minimal time to think. Your stopping distances are enormously reduced. And remember, we said if you are doing 20, you need 40 meters. If you are doing 120, how many meters do you need? And it gives you opportunities that are dangerous, things like sudden swerving.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are not trained. You've never driven a Vitz up to 120. Now you are in a Mercedes or you are in a Toyota V8 or TX. You want to achieve it there. You want to show us that you can do it. We are not competent when it comes to this, and it's going to hurt us the more because speed has something we call a tunnel of vision.
Yes.
You focus when you're on high speed at a dot. So the funnel goes to V. But when you slow down, it widens, it widens, it widens. You see more things. So imagine I am not trained to drive fast, and then a tire burst happens. The danger I pose to the people around me is extremely big. I am not trained to drive at high speeds na nimegonga yangu kidogo kachupa mbili two for the road.
Yeah, for the road.
Then it impairs sight, it impairs thought, it impairs, it reduces everything down. Yes. But then I am speeding. Everything is reduced down, but I am speeding. I am opening a wrong door. Then I want to achieve the weekend. How? I'll not be able to respond to any motorcycle rider, economic rider, our border who they appear from all the sides. I'll not be able to concentrate. So this is what happens. Friday, from 3 p.m.
Okay.
Our desktop shows Now we are ready to receive the fatalities. As it goes, what happens first is we have what we call a biological clock. I woke up at 4 a.m. today. I have gone to work. I have gone to do a few things that I can be able to do so that I make room to catch up with the weekend. As we were starting, there was a video that was shown when the driver is driving very fast and then he's trying to overtake blindly. Why? Because there is a schedule they want to meet. This is a supply lorry. We need to supply bread. We come and catch up with the weekend.
Yes.
Anki has thrown a party. David is coming. So and so is coming. Who am I not to come on time? Because I don't want that, the late one. So everybody is in a rush. If this was just one driver overtaking on the blind spot of another lorry, then he realized this guy is stopping. Then the reflex action, actually was tailgating, it was too close. Reflex action is, let me veer off. And then you meet a bus with almost 40 lives in it. And it is sad that Kenya will lose 15 people every day. Every day. Yesterday was 15. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. And now when it comes to the weekend, it goes high. This might not even look big. But he mentioned socio-economic growth.
All right.
If a doctor crashes and dies, has the nation lost or it hasn't lost?
It has lost.
We are keeping to be in debt the more. If a lawyer dies, the nation loses. Because it takes time to train a doctor, it takes time to train a surgeon, it takes time to train, and a lot of money comes in. This is an aspect that people don't really check into. We only see the loved ones when they are lost.
Yes.
But is this avoidable? Yes.
All right, as we go, as we hold it there on, is this avoidable? Allow me to get clarity from our trainer here on set. He's mentioned, and we've seen a video of a driver speeding and trying to overtake, and he called that he was trying to overtake at a blind spot. Now, for those who are trying to figure out what this blind spot exactly is, please give us from your expert point of view so they can understand really what Mr. Otet means.
Okay, when we look at the construction or the design of a vehicle, we say we've got 4 eyes. We've got my eyes, and the car has got 3 mirrors. And these 3 mirrors complement my vision of the car and my surrounding.
All right.
However, some points will not be captured by the mirrors. Some points will not be captured by the eyes, especially behind me, unless I have to turn. Today, as we were driving to the show, Owur Otet did something I didn't know.
Okay.
He did a shoulder check. And I'm wondering, he's an experienced driver. Why is he doing a shoulder check? It's
And
because
he has
of
the side mirrors.
And he has the side mirrors. So it's because of the blind spot. The blind spots are very risky aspects because when you're changing a lane, for instance, there's a part you'll not be able to see. And you have to look twice because there will be a car next to you. And the moment you start changing the lane, you're driving almost at the same speed, a collision will happen. So for viewers, blind spots are real. And they're more risky when you're in front or beside a big truck or a lorry. They have the biggest blind spots. And most accidents that happen due to blind spots are caused by huge vehicles. So it's true, blind spots are there, they are real, and they are very risky.
All right, now we want to go into the avoidance of the weekend fatalities, but you also had a comment earlier on, if you remember, on the drunkenness. So you can give us that, put emphasis on it, and then now we can start to look at solutions.
Okay. What I wanted to discuss about the drunk driving, it's not the drunk driving that actually, it's not the reason that I'm drunk that an accident happens, but it is what that drunkenness contributes towards the state of the driver and towards the way the driver is, or the motorist is driving the car. But what is most important is for other road users not to assume that I'm okay, I'm not drunk, and assume I'm safe. They should be cognizant of the risks and dangers surrounding them. You see, it's very easy to identify a drunk driver. So they'll be driving zigzag, they'll be stopping suddenly. There's a certain behavior that will tell you this guy is drunk. What action can I take to avoid any incident or accident with such a person? So keep your distance. That is the first thing you can do. And if possible, it's not once or twice I have overtaken such a person, gone to a roadblock, alerted traffic police officers, and they arrested these people. So as a road user, we should recognize such behaviors and take actions to reduce the accident that these people cause. Yes. The other point is the disorientation. You see, it comes with a lot of excitements. And I'll drive to a route that I'm not familiar with. And I want to mention something that is very interesting, Mr. War. We also have blind spots within the city. And the most risky blind spot in a city is the roundabout. If you look at the fatalities statistics at Nyayo Stadium roundabout, and you know why? Because people are coming from where? Carnival, those clubs around Nairobi West. So a roundabout is a good example of a black spot for a drunk person, because he's driving on a route he's not familiar with, he's speeding, he's not keeping to the right speeds, and then bam, he finds a roundabout that he did not expect.
All right, now we've run out of time. I will read your feedback in a bit, but just give us, a quick summary of what the recommendations are and what should be done to avoid these fatalities.
The weekend is here. It's a reality. We cannot run away from it. Every time you're using the roads, the first one I'll say, be aware of your ever fast changing environment. Just make sure you are so much aware of what is happening around you. Number 2, ask what if. It is the anticipatory part. I am going at 120. That is a junction. What if I don't look much more longer? That is the moment someone is also coming in. So anticipate by asking the what if question. When you have become aware, that is a junction. You have asked yourself the anticipatory question of what if, then you adopt. You adopt by deciding either to speed, you adopt by either deciding to slow down, you adopt by either deciding to watch longer. If you watch longer, someone will go back home and fulfill a promise. Today I will say, a father left the house and told the baby, I will bring you sweet, I will bring you banana, I will bring you soda. Please help us achieve those promises to be fulfilled. Thank you.
But now you have it. Please make that promise, and when you go, arrive alive and bring it back. You know, if it's a sweet, that child is waiting for you back at home. Real quick, because our time has run out, I must, of course, give, the feedback to you. Blessed Dan says, speed thrills but kills. All right. He also says, nice topic, road safety awareness campaigners, Oworo Tet and Mr. Kahara M. David. Real quick, let's see. Ward Rosa Godfrey Owino says, road safety is a message of love. Oh, thank you for watching all the way. We also have BMTWO. Dan says, we are watching from Sikika Road Safety. Good conversation there. The authority
is the founder of Sikika Road Safety.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for watching. He's saying that the authority is failing Kenyans big time. All right, now Blessed says, in case you are drunk, just park your car and use a taxi to arrive safe home. There's an alternative there as well to avoid this. And of course, that's Ben Oyo says, good message. And we're so glad that this is, of course, reaching Kenyans this morning. Godwin Kipkirui, good morning, Anki, following the conversation closely. And my advice would be follow it, but do not take the information and keep it.
Yes,
share it.
Yes.
And of course, let's also practice, because Kenyans have a problem with writing, keeping, and not implementing.
Yes.
So I want to thank you so much, gentlemen, for creating time. It's always a very short session, but we
Yeah.
say short and sweet is good.
It's good, sure.
So that people can have bits of it stored, and
yeah,
that they
yeah.
can